I'm attempting to watch 1,000 games of football before the end of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I'm going to be ranking every single one to find out which game is the greatest of the season. Even more Club World Cup action, and unfortunately, probably one of the worst games of the tournament so far, but with one of the most surprising ways that a game has played out. It is Fluminense taking on Borussia Dortmund. The big news for Dortmund today was the introduction of debutant Joe Bellingham, obviously the younger brother of superstar Jude Bellingham, who would be making his debut today against Fluminense for Dortmund. However, disappointingly, we didn't really see much from Dortmund this game. They didn't really create any sort of decent chances, never were able to sort of get that control that you would expect from a Dortmund side in general. And to be honest, Fluminense looked really good on the break. They had some good chances, and Dortmund really had no answers for them. The match would continue like this, with Fluminense having the majority of the positive chances, having heaps of shots, leaving a really good tempo as well as they were playing the ball around, and Dortmund seemingly were just unable to match it. I don't really know why this was. Maybe it could be fatigue after a long Bundesliga season, but I don't really think that is to blame. I think a small part of this going into it might be match sharpness. Fluminense obviously are still in that phase of playing out the Brazilian League season. And to be fair to them, they've been playing heaps and heaps of games between the Brazilian League and obviously South American Cup football. But Dortmund have had a few weeks off from their Bundesliga season, so maybe you could say match sharpness had something to do with it. But really, for me, I was so surprised to see how poor Dortmund looked, and it's a really bad sign going into the start of the season for them. Overall, unfortunately, there's not really a lot to mention. Kobel had a good game, making a few saves to keep Dortmund at level, but Dortmund were unable to create anything. Fluminense created plenty, but didn't have the quality to put it away. Credit to Thiago Silva, the stalwart in defense for Fluminense, for allowing his team to keep a clean sheet against Borussia Dortmund. The match would finish out 0-0, and plenty of questions to be asked going into the rest of the group stage games. Overall, this match was pretty boring. I did like the sort of energy brought by the Brazilian Fluminense fans, but to be honest, it didn't make up for the lack of quality of the game. For that reason, I'm going to rate this game a 2.8.